Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today, we're customizing the Lampadati Komoda in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing is on sale this week. We're going to be trying to run through some of these sale vehicles, so you guys can probably expect to see a few more of the ones that are on sale this week in the next few days. So anyway, it's been a long time since I've customized the Komoda. Looking forward to getting into it, so let's hop in. So to get started on the Lampadati Komoda, we are of course going to upgrade the armor all the way up, the brakes as well. And for the bumpers, I'm not 100% sure what I want to go for just yet. We could go with something like pretty aggressive on this car. I've never really gone for an aggressive build on the Komoda before, so I'm kind of thinking that I want to. Let's go for the carbon bolt-on race splitter. We'll do that. For the rear bumper, we can also add on some pretty crazy options. We got the carbon street bumper with fins. Let's go for it. Why not? For the engine, all the way up, obviously. For the exhaust, we do have quite a few different options here, as you guys can see. I do have to say that I think I like the dual rounded exhaust the best, so we'll go for that. For the hood, we do have a lot of different options here. Definitely want to go for something that matches up with like the aggressiveness of the other hoods, so I think we'll probably go for the primary high performance hood. Now for the lights, we are of course going to go xenon on those. The livery, we do have a few options here, so we could actually add a livery onto the Komoda. I've never done that before, but there are a couple that look pretty cool, like the black Lampadati racing stripes are kind of tight, so we have that option. We got a few different livery options here as well. These are all actually really cool. I do like the Fleece livery and the Redwood race and the Lampadati race. However, I do think that we're going to go for the black Lampadati racing stripes. I feel like that looks pretty cool, so we'll go for it. For the mirrors, we are going to go for carbon mirrors on this thing. For mud guards, we could add them, but I don't know why I would, so I'm just not going to. For the plate, we are going to go yellow and black for sure. For the respray, we do have a lot of different color options, obviously. I am thinking that because this is a Lampadati, it's based pretty heavily off of the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio in real life. I think we have to go for a red, so we're going to go for the crew color. Now for the secondary, we could match that up with the crew color as well. I guess we will. I don't even know what that does, to be completely honest. Maybe it does the brake calipers, does it? No, it doesn't. I have no idea what that does, but hey, we're going for it. Now for the roof, I do think that I want to go for a carbon roof, but we do have a lot of different options here, so we're gonna have to see which one we actually like the best. I do kind of like the primary roof vent. It does kind of look okay on this car. We'll go for that, I guess. Why not? And actually, you know what? I'm thinking maybe we should go for carbon instead. Yeah, we're going for carbon. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. For the side skirts, we do have a lot of options here as well. I'm definitely going to go for something carbon just to match up with the rest of the carbon sort of undercarriage parts. We'll go for the ridged skirt. I feel like that's a pretty good looking one. Now for the spoiler, we do have a lot of different options here as well. I kind of wouldn't mind going for something a little more extreme on this thing. Usually I would go for the ducktail because I do think that it looks probably the best out of all the wings. However, if there is, oh no, there's not. I was hoping for a different style of wing, but unfortunately it's not there. So I think we are going to go for a ducktail, as it turns out. We'll go for the primary. We'll go for the primary ducktail. Suspension, we are going to lower this thing down all the way, obviously, race car status. Race transmission, we got to equip that on here as well, and the turbo as well for sure. Now for the wheels, I think I want to go for something carbon just because it's going to match up with all the rest of the carbon on the car. Do we go for the Solars or do we go for the Cheetah Carbonars? I think the Cheetah Carbonars because they look a little bigger. The wheels on this car are really small looking, if you guys couldn't tell. I feel like that's kind of an odd feature, but I do like it. For the color of the wheels, I think we'll just go black because I can't match a red to the crew color, so we just can't do that. Bulletproof tires, we will add those, and we are going to tint the windows out. It's going to be sort of a street racing car, if you will, not like exclusively for the track. So anyway, I think it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with this. We're going to take it down to the ground. We're going to do a sound test and a full review on the car. All right, time to listen to what this thing sounds like. Now, I'm not exactly shocked that the Komoda sounds that good, because I know that this is, you know, potentially the best sounding car in the game. You could argue the Sterling GT, you could argue this, you could argue other vehicles that have this exact same sound. I think the Ocelot XA21 has the same sound as the Komoda, and I know that the Ocelot Jugular does, so those are two, you know, really good sounding cars as well. Basically, it just depends on what package you want the sound effect in, if you want it in a supercar or if you want it in a four-door sports car. Now, the Lampadati Komoda is a really quick sports car in Grand Theft Auto Online. You're not going to win any races with this thing, however, for free mode, it is a pretty good car to have. Obviously, it is four doors, so you can drive around a couple of other players as well as yourself, so that's a nice feature to have, obviously. As you guys saw, the customization options for this car are there's quite a few of them, so it's pretty good to customize, and for the discounted price in which it costs right now, I definitely would say it's one of the better cars to pick up this week. Now, the Komoda does have reasonably good handling. I feel like it does tend to have a bit of an oversteer bias, not that that's a bad thing by any stretch, but I figured that I would mention it. The acceleration is pretty good, especially for a four-door rear-wheel drive sports car in Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, it's pretty good. The top speed is a little tiny bit weaker on the Komoda than on some of the other sports cars. That's not to say it's bad, but it's just not quite as good as the rest of, you know, the cars, you know, maybe a little bit closer to the highest point in the category. The Komoda truly is a really great car. It's a super fun one to have in online, I feel like, because, I mean, it's just so versatile. You can drive around a bunch of players, you can go really fast, you can drift it, and sometimes this car can also just grip up really well, depending on what corners you're going around and, you know, how fast you're going around them. The Komoda can be really good for, you know, doing some handling sort of oriented tracks in online, or, you know, just cruising through the mountains like I am right now in the background gameplay that you guys can see. Pair that along with the sound and the overall pretty good looks of the vehicle, I think this is one of the best four-door sports cars in the entire game. I would probably say it's just a little tiny bit behind the Ocelot Jugular. It is, of course, the fastest four-door sports car in Grand Theft Auto Online, so the Lampadati Komoda, I would say, is probably a close second, if not third. And if it's not either of those, it's definitely within the top 5, so, you know, you really cannot go wrong with this thing. It's a blast to drive, sounds amazing, handles decently well, you know, it's just a really good car overall. Anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the Lampadati Komoda customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you want to see more customizations this week from some of the other cars that are discounted, let me know in the comments down below, of course. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.